Hi there, I'm Frank with Sportsland here in Salt Lake City at 4001 South State. I'm going to do some walk around on this new V3 Viking that just came in. We're going to do a quick little walk around and we'll go inside and check this out. I want to start by saying about the dry weight on this with the front deck, toy hauler deck is a little over 3,200 pounds dry. So you load anything up on the front deck, a little bit of squat in the front, we take this into consideration. We set all that up for you here at Sportsland. So with that said, we'll go up to the front deck here and show you. These do come with the ramps, so these will come off. You can see the pin placements on these on the ramps itself. So it does have loadable ramp setups and they work as your walls around your toy hauler front deck. You do have quite a bit of room setting up here. I believe it's 60 by 8 feet wide, a little over 7 feet, 7.5 feet wide. So you're looking at, a four-wheeler, a couple of dirt bikes, some bicycles, totes, boxes, firewood, pretty essential for a lot of good storage up front here. You do have, if you see what we have dangling down here, we wanted to keep this untied for you, so you can see this. It's a nice, really thick fabric. It's a porous fabric. When I say that, it's something where it will dry out quickly. You're not going to have mold and mildew. It is warranted. And you do have a liner, a really good thick plastic liner that wraps around your mattress. This will tie and tuck up underneath here, so you will keep everything nice and tight. You get wind blowing, you're not going to get any wind and rain, sand, dirt blowing up underneath into the mattress. You do have a cable structure system, which you can see here. Now, as far as this goes all the way up. So you have no bars up underneath here, as you could tell the way this is set up right now. You're about 1,200 pounds on the bed itself for these cables. Now, this is a very easy to extract out, lock in, pin lock, which we'll show you on the inside. And these cables are just structured well, where when we talk about if you ever had anything like this or seen them in the past or setting up poles underneath, very easy transition to set up. Pop a couple of pins, roll it back in, very easy to tuck away. Very nice setup. Your spare door here, this is your door when you're a travel door. So the door that's in it, we'll show you, sets up real nice and easy. When you're traveling, this door just simply hinges back on, closes up and locks away for traveling. As far as your tie downs on your deck, you do have 6 tie downs, and these are into the actual frame itself, into the steel. These tie downs, nice and easy to make all your equipment cinch up and safe. Now, coming up to the front here, we do have your little tag for your pole for out to your bed. Once again, you can see this is all gripped and already set up on the front here with your little skirting on the outside. So just the 2 outsides is where you have your bungees and your strings to tie up underneath. This will be equipped with 2 propane tanks, and they do come with them. We do fill them for you here at Sportsland when you do come pick up one of our little bonuses for you. You do have a single battery. You can put a 12 volt, 6 volt, 27 AGM, 27 volt battery set up there. Single battery runs quite a bit in this tent trailer, just because you're not running a lot of high ends. There's no power slides, anything like that. If you do opt to get a power jack, they don't come with a power jack. Quick little setup. We sell them here at Sportsland. Set them up for you to the battery. Very simple, but they have a really nice setup on here for your crank up. It is an easy crank up system. Now, the same thing with this. So you do have your handle that comes with it. You do have a bit that comes with this as well that will go into about this far and then socket out to a drill. Don't use a ratchet drill whatsoever, just a good strong powered drill. 12 volt battery, DeWalt, anything like that. Slide it in and you can power drill that in, or this has a crank system, which is if you can see the gears and set up inside, it's got a bigger gear up to the smaller gear, which goes up to another big gear, which really runs a single cable system into the traction system that actually brings all 4 posts up at the same time. It's just a really foolproof system. Once again, maybe a little easier with the drill if you do, but yeah, nice setup. So 2 5/16 ball, easy latch up and lock. I mean, pretty basic on that. Your chain systems, you want your safety. We would recommend on something like this with a toy hauler with a little more weight up top here, Equalizer Hitch Look into them. We carry the Equalizer brand. Look into that. Google that online. They help from sway, and they do actually lock up with your extra weight that you'll have up on this front deck. You'll have more of a setup like this instead of just a pin on, you know, just your ball set up on your trailer. So Equalizer Hitch will help out with this with the weight value up front. Think on safety first all the time as far as I'm concerned. Come around the back side of the V3. They are equipped with a slide out. So this will be the dinette slide. We'll look at it on the inside. Simple setup on this. I want to take you up to the actual, you know, structure on your outside. Fiberglass structured walls, aluminum construction. It's all just a coated wood up underneath that is going to alleviate water protrusion into the wood itself. Nice structure. Same thing with the top. Nice solid. You can see that's kind of a arced, little bit of a roof there, where it's going to just dissipate that water, so you don't get water and you know, snow and ice built up on top of there. Once again, easy setup on this slide out. You do have this already tucked and tightened up on the inside. So this is your extra skirt that goes on the outside for rain that you're kicking out. Easy pull handle. All you're gonna do with this is not an electric slide or anything. It's on really solid rollers up underneath. The whole structure underneath is really solid wood. You pull this out and you're set up. You're gonna feel that notch into place. Your bars on the inside, which once we get in there, we'll take a look at that. You do have set up out here, you have a 30 amp service. So there's your cable, goes into your pocketed box in the back here. You just roll it all back in, pull it out, and we have this plugged in. So if you're going out to a park, you got a good long cable, as you can see, that you're gonna be set up on a park with. Your drainage, you're not gonna have holding tanks in here, aside from the actual potty tank, which we'll show you. So this is gonna be just a quick, you can actually put a garden hose on this, unscrew that, put a garden hose, let that trickle out. It's gonna be just gray water. It's not gonna be any sewage water. So you can actually do that, or people just trickle into a bucket, cap the bucket, take it with you. You do have your water connection here, city water connection. So not to be complied with or looked at as far as your tank fill, this is gonna be your city water. So if you're at a park somewhere, you hook up here with a hose, you have your unlimited water, then you can actually bring this out to your drain in the park itself. Nice little part here is you have a spray port. So it's a quick connect, little spray port. This hose comes with it. You grab that, it's got a little attachment, hose attachment at the end. Spray off the kids' feet, spray off the pets, hose down. You can do a quick little cold shower down before you enter the coach itself. It's a nice little easy setup there. Hot water heater, 6-gallon hot water heater, and it's gonna have a quick recovery rate on this. So you're talking about, you know, if you're taking a shower or two, maybe a couple of showers per hour, let that heat back up again. You got plenty of hot water. Going up to your setup again, which I love the show about this. Now, a lot of these are gonna be exposed in the elements. What we wanna do is cover these up. So these are actually your posts. They're a nice galvanized steel, not gonna rust out on you. Cover it up. And that's just a simple little cinch up to cover up those 4 posts around the whole thing, so you don't have any elements hitting that, which is nice. Come around the back side again, once again, you do have that thick skirting on the outside, which is gonna tuck up underneath, plus your secondary skirting. Now, what we do recommend on this, after talking with Forest River and Viking, is that this canvas, you know, we don't live in the perfect world. So when it comes down to camping, you could have that Sunday, you're packing up and it's raining outside. And you think, well, this is gonna be an ultimate mess, but it's really not, guys. Think about it. This is, like I said, it's not gonna mold and mildew on you. You don't wanna keep these damp and wet for weeks at a time, but if you're packing up on a Sunday when it's a little wet and moist outside, you push this, everything in, tuck everything in, wait till a sunny day, bring it out. If you've experienced any harsh winds with some dirt, sand, anything like that blowing around, what you know you want to do is get in here. This stitching is the most important part, and probably when I say weak, I don't mean weak, but it's double stitched. It's very tough, but over a course of years. We've seen this under a microscope. You get that dirt and sand content. What you want to do, soap and water, just wash it all off. Main thing is hitting your stitching. Keep that clean. I've had a tent trailer for years. That was one of the weakest points that you're gonna have on anything is your stitching, it's cloth. It's not a nylon stitch, but it's a good stitching, but you just want to keep that clean. That's where you get those sand particles in there and they start grinding around over years and years and years of time. This will outstand 8-10 years for you if you keep this thing clean. Coming around the back side here, to show you up underneath here, you do have a full-size spare. That's not a little donut, which is going to keep you only doing 20 miles an hour down the road until you can get to a safe spot. Full-size spare, which is a sweet thing to have. And if you've noticed now off the back while you're looking down here, it doesn't have just 2 points of anchoring system. So this is actually 4 scissor jacks that stabilize this tent trailer. Now, back in the day, I had an older tent trailer, and it only had the single up with the tongue jack and 2 back here, and you had a little wobble up front all the time. In the bed, rolling around, you can always feel that movement. This being structured with 4 scissor jacks, that's pretty impressive for a toy, for a pop-up travel trailer that is just solid when you get in. It really feels good. For all of you to come down and check this out, you'll feel it for yourself. A little addition, this is going to be an external solar panel. So all you got to do is plug in. This is pre-wired already through the coach up to your batteries. So if you do have an external panel, as you know, as it gets later in the season, the sun kind of sets at a different spot, you can angle that panel and get as max charge as you can. And like I said, you just cover that up. Every solar panel is going to have, they should usually have an adapter, a round or an oval. This being the oval, you just plug it in, 2 conductor, very simple. Little latch door for the inside, outdoor speakers, which are pretty nice to have set up out here. This is pretty cool. 110, 2 110 outlets. You're out here with the blender and a table, doing what you do. And we talked about yesterday, around the corner, you have your city water fill. This is your fresh water fill. 30, I believe it's a 30 gallon tank, and that'll last you quite some time out there boondocking. Just limit your use on showers. We know that RV showers is soak down, shut off, lather up, rinse off. That's where you get the max on your showers. This right here is a little track system for your barbecue. Comes with a barbecue. As we can see, there was a barbecue just underneath here, but it does come with a barbecue. And the nice thing about this is your propane quick connect. You can set up right there, goes to your propane bottles. Take a quick pan over here. This is the hose that comes with it, with your barbecue inside here, and you got 2 ceiling fans that plug into your lights. And those will be coming with this unit with the V3 as well. So coming back to here, you can actually get a two-way splitter quick connect that actually plugs into here. That's what I have on mine. Kicks out. Now you can run a Camp Chef and a barbecue or into anything else. External deep fryers, whatever you want to do off of propane, which device you have, you can run it off that propane quick connect. Antenna system for your stereo system, and an LED light set up here. This is pretty nice for nighttime setup. You know where you're going to get into your door. And then of course the ultimate bottle opener. Pretty cool, set right outside of your trailer right here. Going on the inside, you do have, before we do that, we have an awning that comes with it. Now your awning track and your 2 connections right here, don't have it set up right now, but that kicks out to a nice awning, legs drop down, and you can have an outside awning set up for this as well. If you notice on your tires, your 15-inch tires, just a stout tire. Now I'd like to talk about that because it's a heavier duty axle system with the bigger tires and rims that is, I believe, really overbuilt for the weight and size of this trailer, which is what you want. Anything overbuilt in this industry is what you want. But really good setup, nice clearance, ground clearance for getting out to your tough spots out there, and really makes a difference. I've pulled a few of these before for tests out in the field, and they just do really, really well. Going on inside, we'll go check that out. First thing I want to show you is this is a neat little setup, and a lot of people are just loving this. For a tent trailer, I can't tell you how many times in mine, you're sneaking out at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to go say hello to the bears and raccoons outside to go potty. But you're talking about setting this up inside. It does have a curtain that closes completely around for privacy, for a shower, or for going potty. You do have a little setup with the, it comes with your chemicals that you drop into your tank, and we're going to pull this tank out in a minute. It's got the auto flush with the electric, little water, it'll shoot that out and clean that bowl out. Hot and cold shower, you have your hose and your assembly, your little turn off, which is pretty nice too. Simple things like this do impress me, because when you're doing that shower we talked about where rinse off, lather up, and rinse off again, you can shut this off. That valve shuts it off, turns it back on, shuts it back off. You have full control in your handle while you're showering. Nice little setup. So your drainage will go into the gray water for the shower. Gray water will trickle out the back where we showed you. Now as far as your black water goes, which is your toilet water, this is a cassette, which is really easy to get out and really easy to maintain and dump. So you take this out, this will have a cap on the end, closes off your hole that actually kicks off for the toilet. This will cap over, this will turn. You go into a dump area, you pull it out and you dump it out, bring it back in, close this off. And as soon as you push it in, this is going to retract back, and that's going to be opening up your toilet. So you go push that back in and you're ready to, it's all cleaned out. You can see your water level in here because you're going to want to fill water into it to get that squirter coming in to clean out your bowl or rinse out your bowl and you're done. So that latches up. This actually closes off, becomes storage. Maybe a light seat for a couple of kids. Well, we don't want adults sitting on this. It is a little pliable, but you can actually kneel on it to get into bed and whatnot. So just be careful with that. These are your quick little hookups for setting up your actual frame. So you slide this out, you can see the cables on the inside. That's a really nice setup. Very easy once again. You got your bed, your frame. So this actually just kicks onto there, clicks off, you pull this down. At the red mark right here is where you actually disconnect this. So a lot of them will actually have to fight and get up underneath there and tuck that onto that bracket onto the end. These will actually come off right here, put them on really nice and easy, push it up, and you got 3 tension settings that are set up there. So if you got some good weather that's coming in, you want that rain or snow to fall off, you tense it up a little tighter. There's 3 settings on these. It's an easy walkthrough. You can kind of figure that out, but there's your third one right there, and that's about your tightest tension setting, which is nice to have. Your door setup. So this is your main door. This will actually slide up. You got your 4 cables that will actually suspend this door. You wonder how this all comes out. We'll kind of explain it other than take it apart right now. But this just comes up and slides and comes over and suspends, so you can close your door, your whole pop-up down. Easy setup. It's a Velcro system, which actually Velcros to the door itself on both sides, sits in your track, sits in the track up top, and you got your actual open and closed door. So this is a pretty sweet little setup. Your privacy, you actually have a little latch on here, a key lock, and you can lock it up as you're gone. Another nice little feature on these are all roll-up blinds, and these are all just for privacy blinds. You just have to set these, you roll and set these up as you go on both sides, and you have your blinds set up. A little quick little release on these strings, drop it down, they roll down. Your bench turns into a bed. So this is pretty cool. Quick little slide out, get that kicked out, drop that in, and this is another bed for another child. Quick and easy setup. And then after you're done with that, just lift that up out of its track system there. You push this back, put that back in for your bench. Nice little setup, quick little, they've got people eating there. You can actually set up another couple of TV trays if you want here to set up more people to eat. I love this little 2-burner stove. This is pretty cool. Runs off your main propane. You close this up. And a lot of people ask, well, how do you get this down? This is a major question too. When people do look at them, if they don't know about them, they're like, well, how does this close with this setup? You're gonna have your trigger switch underneath here for your power and your lights. So once you close up, that disconnects. That switch right there, that'll disconnect so you know you're not leaving anything on when this is all closed up. So you're not gonna drain your batteries out. So this actually just comes over and drops right down to the ground. And then you're set up, that's probably one of your last things you wanna do before you start closing up, so you have room. But that there, and then when you put that down, you slide your bed back over top. That's all ready to go. This again, table drops down. You have a couple of little ledges right here, and this will fold up and drop down as your base, and this becomes another bed here. You fold out your pillows, and you drop that down to another lay-down bed. Setting up on your same thing with your slide out is going to be that little attachment right there, just the same as we have on both sides. This will come in and drop down right on top of that. So your little breakdown takes about maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes to just drop down, bring this in, drop down, slide in, latch, load up your four-wheeler or dirt bikes, and you're ready to roll. This is really one of those tent trailers that is hot in the market right now, lightweight, able to take toys with you. Toy hauler pop-up trailers are really getting popular. You got that clearance, really a good setup for hard to get places out here. We have the Uenas, and I'm sure down wherever anybody else lives, they've got some sweet spots to get to that just a big old trailer can't get to. One other thing to mention is that this can be, you've got your dot met set up right here. When you get these and you think, what is that? You got a location for an air conditioner. So you can do up to a 14K, 14,000 BTU air conditioner, 13.5, 14, a 12, a 10, whatever you want to go with. But they do come over, you'll set up an outlet and plug in, but these roofs are durable enough to set an AC up on there. Some of the little features right here too, you got a coat hanger, you just drop these down, set up. We talked about the beds on the outside, just to reiterate on the ease of setting this up. So just behind this pillow, on all four corners, you're gonna have the same setup. So it's a spring pin release that you have right here. When you pull these beds out, you're gonna hear a click and a click that drops these pins in to lock this bed out. To bring them in, all you gotta do is lift that, and that does that release, that brings it in on both sides. Now one person comfortably can pop all four and go outside and push these beds in. Nice easy track. You got a good 8-10 inches of track that's still in here as it's pulled out, so you don't have any wobbling on that bed whatsoever. And then as far as your track coming in, nice solid aluminum track, good easy slide transition for that as well. So just to take that into consideration, very ease of pulling and closing the beds up. You do have your cable systems. Once again, we talked about those. You can see both cable systems. And there's another thing that these guys did in the market where if we don't talk about these, I'll get my rep calling me and asking me why I didn't mention them. But these are phenomenal. So this is a feat that they brought in engineers to actually talk about this, the X-Factor cable system. So what this does in a lot of tent trailers, you're gonna see out in the industry do not have these, but go up to it and grab one side and just start shaking. That thing with the wind, you'll have a lot of this going on. This alleviates that shaking back and forth. Stabilizes this whole top roof end on the 4 points of the bars and everything. X-Factor on both sides. And these are just an engineering feat that they came up with none of the market that we've seen. That's why we picked up this line, is they just put a lot of thought process and engineering into this kind of stuff here, which just makes this so durable. So with that said, guys, we'd love to have you come down to Sportsland. You want to walk through one, I'd be happy to do so. Once again, Frank at Sportsland. See you soon.
Let Sportsland guide you to the dreams that live inside you. Let